What is going on, guys? The Brothers All Gaming with my first review of Seraph of the End and this anime. Holy crap. Now, I had no idea when I was watching this, it would just be so messed up, because at first it seemed rather, I guess, peaceful, so to say, because really, not much was going on, and I thought that maybe I wouldn't review this, but after the ending of the first episode, I definitely knew that, I was on board. And I will definitely, I'll be doing this weekly, so every Saturday you can expect this series to be reviewed, because that first episode, it won me over by a landslide. And so Seraph of the End, overall, for a first episode, it was very basic. Now we see now that, some years ago, these vampires, they had unleashed this virus that had killed every adult and every teen, because only children, 13 and under, they weren't affected by this. But these vampires, they had went out and gathered all these kids now, and we see that they took them to some kind of, underground city of sorts. And so now we see that, our main characters, one kid name was Yu, the other one was named Mika. We see these two were brothers, but actually every kid that you saw, for the most part, in the episode, they were all siblings, because they were a part of this orphanage. And we saw now that this director, the woman who watched over them, she was killed by this virus. So of course, now they're all alone. But we see now that, after they all were first captured, we get this very quick time skip, and that right there brings us to where Yu and Mika, they are now 12, and the other kids, were younger than that. But I do believe this one girl, Akame, she was definitely, the third oldest one. So either she was 11 or 12 as well. But we see now that, all these kids, they were definitely close. But you here, this guy had a very sad past, because we see now that when he first went to the orphanage, we learn now that his father actually tried to kill him, and we have no idea why. But his mother called him a demon child, and she actually killed herself. And even though that right there was definitely crazy, I do hope that we learn more about Yu and his family as well, because to me, I just don't see a reason why his mother, would do that, and why in the world would his father, try to kill him. That right there definitely seemed, kind of crazy to me. But now we see these vampires, even though they have gathered all these kids, and we see them, draining their blood, they actually treat these kids like crap, because we saw this one scene where there was this vampire, where there were these two vampires, walking the streets, and we saw them step on this little boy hand, and he also kicked this other child as well, and that right there was messed up. But not only that, when you here tried to intervene and get that vampire to apologize, obviously, he was not going to do that. And we see now that the vampire was going to throw you over this bridge, but we see that this one vampire that was clearly above the rest, rank wise, because he just had this noble look to him, and also his attire was different compared to the rest of them. We see now that him and Mika, they were very close, because Mika apparently had this very this very delicious blood, and the vampire here would drink off of him, and in return he would give Mika things. And we see now, on one night he actually gave Mika these ingredients so that his family could have curry for one night. And so we see that you was crazy about that. You did not like that at all. And we see now that you hate vampires for a good reason, or he's very adamant towards them, because obviously he definitely sees how he treats other kids, and of course he did not like that. But we see now that his family, they were all very happy-go-lucky, because I'm pretty sure as long as they were together, they were all right. And so now we see that, after they had, ate and went to sleep, Mika finally comes home, and we see now that when him and you were eating, we learn now that Mika, even though he was letting the vampire, feed off of him, Mika here had a plan of his own. And so we see now Mika stole, a map and a gun, And that right there, like was surprising, because why in the world would a vampire, not realize that? And Mika is also a kid, so I'm pretty sure that it was easy for him to make mistakes. And so, the real reason why, the vampire, allergic happened, because he already knew about that. So obviously, that right there definitely, explains a lot. And so now we see that when they were all making their escape throughout these sewers, we see now that, there are also, these two vampires, walking around. And at first you see them, walk on by, but then one of them, had double checked, but luckily, they had hit they get hit in another spot. So that right there was definitely smart of them to do. But now we see just when they reaching, the exit, that vampire, once again appears. And when that happened, I knew that right there was definitely not a good sign. And this vampire, he just slaughters everyone, and you don't see it, but you just see blood going everywhere. And then you see, they're dead bodies. Then you see their dead bodies on the floor bleeding out. And so then you see Mika. This guy definitely, had the most brutal death. And he told you, not to forget, because they are family. And you just see him, charge in there like a madman. And Mika actually was doing pretty good, because he actually did dodge, the first hit. But then the vampire, he actually impaled him. But Mika would not give up. And he actually was going to shoot him, but Sally, before he could, the vampire had cut off his arm, and that right there, which is so messed up. But luckily, you had caught it, and we see him now using, and that right there, actually killed, or we don't know yet. It is possible, that gun might not be a sure way, to kill him, because it is possible that the vampire could get back up. But from what we saw, that vampire did fall to the ground, he did die. But we have no real confirmation that that right there killed him. But once you had escaped, we see now that he was found by these 3 people, and apparently this right here was a part of a prophecy, and now they want to use you to actually, to make him into something that can actually, exterminate these vampires. And so obviously now he wants to get revenge for his fallen family, because we see now that at first he was not going to leave without Mika, and we see him now dragging him along, and Mika, made him go, because you did not want to leave. That right there was the first time he called them that, which means he finally acknowledged them, for what they were. But now we get this. Now I'm gonna get another time skip, and you is now 16 years old, because he was 12 back then, and 4 years have passed now. So obviously, humanity, they must have made some antidote now to combat the virus, so people can live now, past 13. Which is definitely apparent from the 3 that had saved them. And so now we see you walking around here, and obviously he's wearing a completely different attire, and we see him now rocking a sword. So that right there, I cannot wait to see him use that, because it should be epic, because from the preview, he actually will get into a fight. So that right there is something, we can look forward to. But for our first episode, like I said, it got me hooked, and I would definitely be reviewing it every week. And so I think for rating, I'll probably give it maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10, because to me it was definitely good, because it won me over instantly. But of course, let me know what you guys think. And as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.